Hello everybody. Just wanted to do an update on everything that came in. Take a look and see what everybody did, because it's the first time I came home. We're going to see what I could see the Brachypelma vagans already did some stuff. But I had to stop and get crickets. And I needed small ones, and they didn't have them at the regular pet store, so I had to go to the mall. And they had this little dude. Trying to get rid of it. I know exactly where it came from. I know exactly what it is. This is a Brachypelma albopilosum nicaraguan from Mostly Reptiles, which is Ruth Cowper. The last one that they had, so I got it for, I don't even want to tell you, really, pretty cheap. I wouldn't have got it otherwise, because he had got like 5 or 6 of them, and I've seen him a few times, but this one was the last one, so I decided to get it to raise up a Nicaraguan from a little baby. And I've been wanting to use this one enclosure for a while, and I was going to use it for one of my other species, like the Chelobrachys fimbriatus or something, when they got a little bit bigger, but I think this one's okay. This is the enclosure. It's pretty tall. So here is like the Matchbox card containers. You could see the height difference. Not as long with dirt. So I think these are like 4 inches. 3.5 maybe. So it's got plenty of dirt to dig. We're going to see what it does. I'm pretty excited to see what it does. I already named this one Avery. I've been holding back that name for a reason. I don't know what the reason was, but this seemed like a good reason. So I'm going to go ahead and move it into the other enclosure, get it all settled, and then we'll take a look at everybody else, at least some of the stuff that's readily accessible. I won't bring the Cancerides down, because you guys seen those guys yesterday pretty good. All 5 of them ate, and both of the Ephiopus murinus ate last night as well. I did not feed the Lugardis, and of course the Fimbriatus, because it molted. The Vagans, the Poecilotheria smithi, none of those I fed. I'm going to try and feed a smithi today, and then we'll take a look and see what the Balfours are doing. Again, I'm looking up and not paying attention to where I'm filming. So we're going to get Avery into its new enclosure and see what happens. Okay, so Avery is now in, and we're going to let it settle and see what it does. I went with straight potting soil. It's a little bit firmer than cocoa fiber, so I figured I'm hoping it'll burrow. It's an albopilosum, so 90% of them love to dig. It did not have that room in this little thing, and it's all wet, and with a dead cricket in there, and I don't know, pet stores. But we'll see what it does over the course of the next day, and we'll give an update in a few days and go from there. So let's check out everybody else. Okay, number 7 is still up top. These are the Brachypelma vagans. Number 6 is still up top, hasn't dug at all. Trying to focus. There he is right there. I'm gonna say he just because it's easier. It looks like we got a digger with number 2. Looks like he really moved some dirt around there, webbed it up a little bit. So we got 1 that's digging, 2 that aren't so far. Here is number 3. Number 3 is up top. Looks like it just moved a little bit of dirt into a webbed up mound right in the middle. And number 3 is up top. Number 3 seems to be the biggest one out of all of them. But yeah, we'll see how these progress. I'll make sure I try and keep track of all my feeding schedules, of course. We'll try and cross-reference them and see what the growth and the molts and how they sex out once they do molt. Okay, I'm going to bring down, let's see how the Balfours are doing. Okay, so here they are. Again, you can see this one seems to be a little bit bigger. This one's close. This one is the one that was originally here, and there's number 4. So they all made it through the night, no problems. Now let's see if they did anything on the other side. And you can see, maybe you can't, yeah you can, they got some webbing through that area where they like to go, and they have a little bit of webbing here on the plants. Nothing major yet, which is okay. They'll web periodically as the days go by. This will get more webbed up and more webbed up. I don't expect them to dig now because they found that area in the back that they can kind of call home. So it seems like that's where they'll stay. We'll have to see what happens when we try and feed them. That's part of the reason I got crickets. We're going to try and go ahead and throw some in here later, see what they do, if we get any kind of feeding response at all. I didn't ask Vlad when the last time they were fed was, so we're going to wing it. Okay, let's check out some of the other stuff. I keep forgetting that light. Okay, here are the Lugardies. There's the one little dude in the corner. It's done a little bit of webbing right there. See it right there and around the side, and a little bit where it's at. It hasn't dug yet. And right there is the second Lugardi up on the top there, and it's webbed right along that side from the middle to the right hand side there. I expect though, as they get used to it, they'll dig a little bit more. Here is the Balfouri that I'm keeping by itself. Okay, and you see down inside there, it is webbed up that pretty good, but it's not in there. Okay, you could see the webbing that it's done all over the place here. When I looked at him this morning, he made himself a home back in there. He's back there, or she's back there. You can barely kind of make out her little butt right there. But yeah, for some reason, that was more comfortable than this big, huge open cave. So I'm sure that this one will dig. This one likes to dig, but it was a good webber, a really, really good webber. I mean, the last enclosure, it webbed the whole thing right up. So we'll see what it does in this one. Okay, I'll bring down some more stuff. Okay, well, there is. Oh, these crickets are already chirping away. The Chilobrachys fimbriatus that molted yesterday. One that came in and then molted. Looks like it's darkened up pretty good. Got some long front legs. Still wouldn't believe it's a Chilobrachys fimbriatus. You know, I can't wait till they get that butt pattern. Is really, really cool. This is not really sure where this one is. This is one of the Darlingis. It's the only one that I put in one of these. Now, it was up top a lot. Now, the whole top of the substrate is all intertwined with web, so I'm kind of thinking that it's underneath there somewhere. But they are pretty small, so I couldn't really make out where it is. So I'm sure it's underneath the dirt. There's just no burrow entrance. So it's probably, you know, there's that little hole right there is what I'm thinking. At least that's what I hope. There's no way it could have squeezed out of these little tiny holes. So here is, I don't know if we'll see him. Yeah, Reese is back there. This is Thalassiodorides polycuspulatus. This is when I rehoused into this 2 weeks ago. It's been doing fantastic. It spends most of the time in there as it did in the other enclosure. So let's get down the E. Marinus, and then that'll be it for the updates, I think. And I'll show you guys well, let's do that right now since I'm already here. How big? There's the female Poecilotheria regalis. She got big, and that's not even full big. I mean, she's at least 6 inches after this molt. Look at the coloring. The whites and the yellows really, really are coming out. The banding is really prominent. So there's the ventral shot of the legs, how yellow they are on the bottom. Really, really cool. The Psalmopoeus cambridgei has been doing fantastic in there. It's kind of made a area there and an area here, and then I see it on top of the log. It's very, very active. So we did do some feedings last night that I didn't video. I just wanted to do the feedings and then go to bed after all that rehousing stuff yesterday. I just wanted to get it over with. But the A. geniculata ate. I didn't feed the Porteri. Both the Classy and the Hamori ate. The C. elegans ate. Their Phocinae species Panama ate. The Gramosol pulchripes, Pteranopelmis azime, Ephebopus marinus, the Sednoclimus brachyramosa. I'm not quite sure if... Oh yeah, it looks like we ate, finally. Oh no, there's the cricket right there. So the Opisthothalamus walbergi didn't eat. I'm not sure if the regular morph Jacksoni did. The chocolate morph definitely did. But so yeah, I got a bunch of crickets. I got 30 large, 30 small, 30 mediums. I'm gonna throw some in with the geckos, get them fed. And I'm gonna bring down the E. murinus and a couple of the Haitian browns, and then we'll wrap up the video. Okay, so here are these are the two Ephebopus marinus. They are completely different. This one dug right away. I mean, I made a little starter burrow and it went right in there after it ate, and you could see the vermiculite. The bottom of the enclosure is vermiculite, so it pulled all that vermiculite up and out around the front end of the burrow. So this one's acting like a normal one. This one's sitting on top. And you can see the really pretty green butt. You can tell how they Ephebopus have those little green booties when they're little, and you can see the two different colored legs. So the front's darker, the back are a little pinker. That's normal for an Ephebopus species. I know for the marinus for sure. I can't remember on the Cyanognathus, to be honest with you, if the legs colorings were different. I don't think they were. I think they were all kind of pinkish. So the E. murinus, you got like 4 legs. Their back 4 legs are, you can see the back 2 are really tan. Then the next 2, which would be L3 and R3, are a little darker. And then the front 4, so L1, L2, R1, R2, are regular dark, which would be the, starting of the zebra skeleton pattern. Not really zebra pattern, the skeleton pattern. So, yeah, pretty cool that we burrowed right away. I like these ones because they're very active eaters, and they will come out to get their food. Now they'll get it and pull it right back in again, but these are definitely top in my tops of favorite species. Just really enjoy looking at these, and I'm sure when they get bigger and bulkier and meaner and nastier, I probably might change my opinion a little bit, but hopefully we got at least one female out of the 3. It'd be nice if the bigger one was a female and one of these maybe was a male. So okay, let's I'll bring down a couple of the Haitian bird eaters, the Phormictopus cancerides, and then we'll wrap up from there. Okay, so here's 2 of the 5. This one's looking kind of pre-moltish, to be honest with you, but it did eat yesterday. You can see how the abdomen's a little bit darker. They said they grow really fast, these Phormictopus, so we'll see how they do. I'm sure they're not going to be in this container very long. Like I said, maybe a molt, 2 at the most, but probably just 1 molt, and then they'll end up out of here and either into baseball cube or softball cube or a 16-ounce deli cup, something like that. One of these, I'm not sure which one of the 5, but one of these 5 will be part of the giveaway once we get to that point. And we'll see what transpires, because I think I might add 1 more tarantula to that mix, which would be Juno, which is a suspected female Brachypelma albopilosum oviform. Now that I have an extra Nicaraguan, it seems like I had 5 of those and 7 Vagans and 3 Amoris, so, and 2 Emilias, so I do have my hands full with Brachypelma. So again, we'll see. I'm trying to work out the details. Of course, everything's going to have to be in the United States. It's going to have to be the lower 48. We can't ship anything to Hawaii anyway, but shipping to Alaska is just kind of difficult. So we'll play it by ear, and once we get a little bit closer you know, once I'm at like the 225 range in subscriptions, will set up a video for the specifics for the giveaway. And yeah, I got lots of stuff. I don't know why I got all these crickets, because I really don't have a lot to feed. We do have the Avicularia rufas that need fed. I'm not sure the Regalis is going to be ready yet. Her fangs are black. She looks good. I probably could try feeding her. If I can get her fed once or twice, you know, maybe tomorrow, and then mid next week, I'm looking at the last weekend in, it'll be the 21st of August, of shipping out her and the 2 males. I want to make sure I get the males there in good health, and the longer they're here, the less days they have. So I want to make sure that they're in good breeding health for him when he gets them. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching the update of the new arrivals, and if anything interesting transpires, of course you guys will be the first to see. I don't have really anything that I can speak of that's in pre-molt. I am really looking at doing something with the Orphanaicus philippinus, an enclosure change to, instead of something so tall, to something longer and deeper. We'll see. I got to figure out what I want to do. Again, I'm moving my camera all over the place, but I would expect this one to molt soon. This one will probably be the first one out of all of them, because it's the only one that looks dark in the abdomen like that, and you can really see, you know, that darkening spot right there. So if something happens with it, if it molts, I will update it. Maybe I'll be lucky and catch it, and we can figure out how to do a time lapse and tape it while it's molting. So, well, thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the compliments, and we'll see everybody soon.